Welcome to Byte-Sized Tech, where we blend casual conversations with insightful discussions on the latest in technology and gadgets. Ever feel like the tech world is moving maybe a bit too fast sometimes? Hard to keep up? Well, you're definitely in the right place. Today we're going to tackle two pretty interesting developments. First up, some surprising tech connections brewing between the U.S. and Saudi Arabia. And then we'll switch gears to a European flying taxi company, Vertical Aerospace, and their kind of clever Plan B. So, yeah, buckle up.
Yeah, sounds good. It's a really good snapshot, actually. It shows how these, global strategies and just company ingenuity are shaping tech's future, sometimes in ways you wouldn't quite expect.
Okay, let's dive right in then. This U.S.-Saudi tech thing. The market seemed pretty pumped about something there lately. What's the big picture?
You definitely saw that, right? That sort of risk-on attitude, NASDAQ jumping Monday, Tuesday. A big part of that buzz, well, it comes down to potential for some serious new investment, new markets opening up. There was that meeting. U.S. President Trump, Saudi Crown Prince, investment folks focusing on tech. It really signaled a potential opening of the spigots, you could say, for U.S. tech companies, a new frontier for growth.
Right. And the talk seems to be all about semiconductors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the brains behind everything these days.
Mm-hmm.
Why is Saudi Arabia so focused on getting advanced chips?
Well, Saudi Arabia is making this massive bet on its tech future. And AI, artificial intelligence, is absolutely central to that vision. To build really sophisticated AI, you just need the most powerful processors available. That means these advanced semiconductors. So companies like Nvidia, their chips are basically the gold standard for AI right now. And AMD, they stand to gain a lot if they can tap into this growing Saudi demand. Look at Nvidia's stock jump, over 5%. The market definitely sees the potential there.
Okay, so it's more than just like buying a few chips off the shelf. It sounds bigger, more strategic for Saudi Arabia.
Oh, absolutely. Way bigger. They're talking about building an entire AI ecosystem from the ground up. Think about this. They've planned something like $600 billion in U.S. investments over the next few years. And part of that includes a specific AI investment vehicle. Their goal to build actual AI factories in Saudi Arabia. We're talking potentially using, get this, up to 18,000 of NVIDIA's Grace Blackwell chips. That's not just buying parts. That's a huge statement. They want to be a major AI player.
Wow. And it wasn't just government officials talking, right? I heard some big tech names were involved, too.
Yeah, exactly. At the Saudi Investment Forum, you had people like Jensen Huang from NVIDIA. Elon Musk was there talking Starlink. Their presence really shows the potential for real partnerships, not just government deals, but collaborations between the big tech innovators and Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030 plan.
Interesting. Now, you mentioned the U.S. might be shifting away from those older diffusion rules on tech exports. Mm-hmm. What exactly were those and why change now?
Right, the diffusion rules. They were basically designed to stop sensitive tech, especially stuff with potential military use ending up in the wrong hands. China was a primary concern there. This move towards bilateral deals, like with Saudi Arabia and the UAE, suggests a more tailored approach. The idea seems to be foster investment and collaboration with partners you trust, but build in security safeguards. So you prevent that tech leaking to adversaries. It's a bit of a balancing act, economic opportunity versus national security.
Okay, so things look more positive, maybe broader tech buying beyond just Nvidia and AMD, but still some question marks, especially around tariffs, maybe impacting someone like Apple.
That's pretty much it. The excitement around these Saudi deals is definitely there. You can feel it. But the bigger picture, the geopolitics, especially unresolved questions about U.S.-China tariffs, that could still cause some bumps. So while the AI chip makers are in the spotlight now, yeah, any big shifts in trade policy could ripple out across the whole tech sector, including the giants like Apple. Still some uncertainty.
Got it. Okay, let's totally switch gears now. Vertical Aerospace, this European eVTOL company, they were all about electric air taxis right now. They're talking hybrid and for defense. What's going on there?
Yeah, Vertical Aerospace, they're one of the main European players left in that eVTOL space, electric vertical takeoff and landing. Big backers like American Airlines, they just announced this 1,000-mile range hybrid electric VTOL aircraft. Now, their initial focus was absolutely on those short all-electric passenger hops in cities, but they've clearly recognized that hybrid tech offers some pretty distinct advantages, especially for defense. Think much greater range, carrying bigger payloads, and crucially for military stuff, lower noise, lower heat signature. Very important.
Huh. So is the all-electric dream sort of on hold for them then?
Not really, no. They've actually been developing this hybrid technology for over 18 months now, sort of in parallel. Their target for certifying the all-electric passenger vehicle, that 2028 date, that's still firmly in place. The hybrid is more additive. It's a strategic expansion. It could even speed things up by opening new markets, maybe new funding avenues. They're actually aiming to get a hybrid prototype flying by next summer.
And they seem quite vocal about their European safety certifications. Why make a point of that?
Well, they have good reason to be proud of that. The UK's CAA and Europe's EASA, they have incredibly high standards for certifying these new types of aircraft. We're talking like a 10 to the minus 9 probability of failure. That's 1 in a billion, same standard as big passenger jets. So Vertical sees this super rigorous standard as a key selling point, a differentiator, especially if you're talking defense contracts, right? Safety and reliability are everything. Plus, they have that billion-dollar deal with Honeywell for the cockpit and flight controls, which is also designed to make integrating autonomy simpler down the line. It shows their commitment.
Right. So it sounds like they're spotting a real opportunity, maybe a gap in the market, particularly in European defense, given everything going on globally.
Precisely. As a leading European eVTOL company, that's key. They're positioning themselves to meet that growing demand for advanced aerial tech within the defense sector over there. They recently did some financial restructuring, cleaned up the balance sheet, and they're actively fundraising now. It's just they're serious about pursuing both civilian and military uses for their aircraft. And they've got some significant flight testing planned for later this quarter, so definitely one to watch.
Well, it really shows. From these huge international tech deals changing the AI game to European innovators finding new angles in defense, the tech world just never stops moving, does it?
Absolutely. These two stories, they really highlight that dynamic mix, don't they? Global politics, big money investments, and just clever technological innovation. It kind of makes you wonder what other unexpected shifts are just around the corner.
Definitely gives you something to think about. Okay, that's about all the time we have for this bite-sized tech deep dive. We really hope you enjoyed this quick run through the latest tech happenings. If you did, hey, you know the drill. Smash that like button, drop us a comment with your thoughts, share it with your techie friends, and of course, please subscribe so you don't miss our next bite of Tech Talk. Until then, stay curious.